This show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for certain audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. A friendly reminder, Mary Jane edibles are not a substitute for actually paying your Lyft driver. Don't forget to tip your bartenders, you filthy fucking animals. And if you've got kinks, we've got links. Don't forget to subscribe, put on your seatbelt, and enjoy the ride.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian. With me this week is Michelle.
Hello.
And we have Scolipendra. Oh, God.
What?
It's this thing you put in our green room, this elevator.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah, EBDB. Alrighty. And we have a guest this week. On my Patreon, I actually have, you have the different perks and everything, and one of them, and one of the higher perks, is, a guest spot on this show. So, and cashing in that guest spot is Ricky. How you doing, man?
Hi, I'm doing fine, thank you for having me, Gomer.
All right. You've been a patron of mine for, I don't even know how long. I don't feel like looking it up. Feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, a good few years. I think you were actually one of the first ones I actually donated to on Patreon.
Oh, hey! I feel good about that. Yeah, we're glad you're here. I very much am very thankful that both you and Scully are both patrons, and I'm very thankful that you both have actually stuck by through all the schedule slip and everything. Holy shit.
I've been listening since your first interview with Mars Girl.
Oh, wow. That long?
Blimey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Holy shit. I am wow. I don't know what to say. Thank you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself if you feel comfortable doing so, Ricky? Because you are the guest, and I'm sure others will be like, "Oh, who's this guy?" Besides, dude, who's been here since 2010.
Yeah, my name's Ricky. I am. I'll say I'm a struggling writer because that's what I would like to be. I'm mostly doing other work as well to keep money coming in.
Yeah.
I hope to be published one day. And yeah, as I said, I've been listening to Thespian Talk since your first interview with Mars Girl, when I happened to stumble across you on a certain page that we do not name.
Oh, yeah.
And pretty much followed you since then. And then as I said, when you opened up the Patreon, I started to donate to it.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where it's like, logically, I've known people have listened to for years. I think Eli the Cartoon Hero has been listening for quite a few years. But this is the first time where it's like, kind of just like, in my face, like, oh, people have been listening to me for 10 years or more. Holy shit. Like, oh, wow. It's definitely not something I'm used to having just up in my face, so... and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I guess keeps me a little humble. I guess, I don't know. But yeah, wow. You would think it would be this. It would be the fan that's been there for a decade who'd be more flabbergasted. But here I am, like, okay.
It's kind of endearing, actually.
Yeah. I guess. But yeah, so speaking of patrons who have also been around for a while, Scully, how have you been the past week?
I've been alright, I guess. I did, get a doctor's appointment yesterday, and it turns out I have high blood pressure, so I gotta work on that.
Yeah.
Well, this show will help.
I mean, definitely more so than it has been, in the last 4 years of the Trump regime. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, no. Since I was gonna say sincerely, honestly, getting it out is probably better than keeping it in. So
True.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but I also understand it can and does take a toll. I mean, two co-hosts had to bounce because of it, and I still honestly do not blame them. Because, everybody's different. Everybody's built differently, and sometimes you just gotta take a step back and say, okay, this getting out of hand is bullshit. So yeah. But you know what? If it helps anybody, even just listening or even being on here and getting stuff out, and you know what? I'm happy. Because the idea is to entertain and inform, kind of like George Carlin did.
Yeah.
Yes. So how about you, Michelle? How have you been the past week?
tired.
Uh-oh.
So, not in a bad way. I think I mentioned on Thursday I'd started some new hours. They've basically kicked in, and I think I also said because of the hours I'm working, I have to finish one job by a certain time. I can't get into another job before a certain time, and then the other one's more flexible. So basically, in order to do all three jobs, I had to get up at 4:10 in the morning.
Yikes.
And for the first time in ages, I actually zonked out on the sofa once I got back home.
Oh, wow.
I think I was only out for about an hour or so, but I was like, whatever. I knew I was falling asleep. I deliberately laid back and sort of closed my eyes and whatever, but yeah, the fact that I actually slept surprised me.
Yeah. That's been something that's been happening with me more and more lately, and just sitting here doing my thing, updating things, checking out the socials and all of that. And then I put on some YouTube video, and I wake up, and it's a different YouTube video. Oh, shit.
I do that sometimes with Glorious. It's Eddie Izzard.
Mm-hmm.
I usually put it on when I'm ill. I listen to all of her shows, but I put it on when I'm ill.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the one I fall asleep to Genesis and wake up to the film star.
There you go. Oh, but yeah, me, I've been falling asleep watching just random YouTube videos. Mostly some of Jacksepticeye's older ones. That's already completed. You just put it on random, and there you go. Which I have been rudely informed that Apple is not going to be supporting YouTube with the Apple TV version that I've got. So it's like, oh, fuck off. Really? Because it's an older model? I mean, there is a way around it using the whole AirPlay thing, but I really don't want to bother with that.
Yeah, they do that.
Just
planned obsolescence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of the whole chilling out to YouTube thing, I forgot to mention it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not a fan of the franchise, Hyrule Gamer has created a new channel that's just called Let's Visit Hyrule, where he has hour-long scenic stuff of just scenes and places of Hyrule. Mostly Breath of the Wild, although he also has one from Wind Waker.
Cool.
So, yeah, just put it on, chill out. I've been collecting them all into a playlist, so I'll give you that link and then you can share it with people. So, yeah, it's just chill out.
Yeah.
Although the Kakariko Village one's a little bit worrying because it's the way where he positioned the camera is right over the pond, so there's a constant water sound for about an hour.
Oh.
I wouldn't have put Kakariko Village is a fun place. I wouldn't have put the camera there. There's a campfire where a chicken keeps walking into it. That would have been where I put the camera.
Yeah. I can understand the water, because sometimes for some people the water is kind of relaxing, and wow, that does sound relaxing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But, and also, speaking of Zelda videos, there is somebody, YouTube channel Monster Maze, that recently, I think it was recent, released a video on life as a bokoblin, which is like
I think that!
Yeah.
It's amazing!
It is! My friend Lacey shared it with me, and she was like, okay, you need to watch this because it's pretty funny. And I'm like, All right, I'll watch it. So I watched it. Yeah. Oh. Oh,
But I
but
have to say, the impression of Sir David was amazing.
yeah. Oh, also speaking of people who do YouTube videos, Michelle, you have run into that vegan teacher.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring her up.
Yeah. Oh.
I have to say, I haven't run into her personally. I've only watched reaction videos.
Mhm.
Generally speaking, I try not to give. I think it's a term we've decided to use. Troublesome people.
Mhm.
I try not to give troublesome people that I don't want to actively support the clicks.
Right.
So yeah, technically I don't have the first-hand experience, but I thought it was an interesting jumping on point, considering the first video I saw about, because I think I'd heard her mentioned her a couple of times before. I think either Surus or Jimmy Snow had brought her up, sort of in passing, or
Mhm.
someone like them.
Yeah.
But Jammy Dodger, a young trans man, here, YouTuber, he basically did a video responding to her video that is basically titled, "If you come out as LGBTQ+, you're selfish." Like, the whole coming out thing is selfish.
Oh
And
no.
since my best friend happens to be very gay, I thought that would be an interesting one to talk about.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, boy.
Oh
What
no.
kind of logic? What the hell?
Oh.
Because it's about you. If you're coming out as gay, it's about you and not about the animals. I help animals. I am an activist and I help the animals. So I'm not selfish.
Oh,
What
fuck off! She can go
hell
fuck
kind of
herself.
Virtue signaling crap. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck her.
I am
talk about somebody who's up her own ass.
Yeah.
I am paraphrasing, but the focal inflection isn't far off.
Yeah.
I mean,
just-
I would say at the very least, I've linked Jamie's video in my comment in my doobly-doos.
Mhm.
So, if you want to watch my video, then go watch his video and get the full context of the video that we're talking about. Then obviously do that. I definitely recommend supporting Jamie Dodger. He's good people.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically that is the vibe I was getting off of her. It's like, well, I am not being selfish by just saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm gay." Oh, by the way, she also claims that she's lesbian or maybe bi, but yeah, she makes that claim as well.
Oh, but it's selfish of her to come out and say that.
Also, she's trying to make vegan phobia a thing.
Oh, yeah, that's one of those. It's like, no! Vegan phobia is not a thing. Especially not in the way she's talking. No!
No way, no.
I mean, it's one thing to like get a little bit of ribbing, maybe a little bit of haha, you don't eat animals type thing or whatever, but that's nothing compared to what I let's see. Oh, hey, there's these groups here that want to have a word with her. Let's see. Black people, Asian people, LGBTQ plus people, disabled people. There's a line that wants to speak with her right about now. And I think they all have the yeah. That's all they want to say, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can I just say, my girlfriend struggled for about 2 years to come out as bisexual.
Right.
That kind of crap just pushes people more and more into the cupboard to not come out.
Exactly.
Hearing bullshit like that.
Yeah. Just what the
I watched 2 other creators about her. The queer Kiwi, who's adorable.
Yes.
I hadn't seen her before, and she's adorable. And a British guy called Inaba Fraser, who's also apparently bisexual. And they've all 3 of them, including Jamie, have basically said people coming out as gay, especially celebrities, and they quoted Elliot Page, that helps other people to realize they're not weird.
Yeah.
It has saved lives.
Yes.
Yeah. So this whole, you're selfish if you come out, fuck you. Just
Yeah.
just fuck off. She's one of the few people that actually got Becky to do more with her TikTok. Like,
yeah.
like Becky has issues with her. Not to the point of not to the same level as those assholes who like to keep monkeys as pets. But she has issues with her. I don't blame her, I do too. Because it's like
boy, yeah.
Yeah. And just and oh, you brought up the queer Kiwi. I remember I've seen the video like one or two of her responses to vegan teacher, and one of the vegan teacher's responses to her was like, "Well, you're not a real vegan." And it's like,
fuck off.
it's like, no, she is a vegan, and one of the things, and bear in mind, I'm going by memory here, and it's been a week or two since I've seen the video.
Yeah.
But I seem to remember Kiwi's response is basically, if you don't have the means to go full vegan, then that's okay.
Yes.
Basically,
Basically,
whereas vegan teachers basically, no, you should just do it. Just do it. Never mind the fact that a lot of the healthier stuff, at least here in America, that you should be buying if you want to live a more vegan lifestyle, or even healthier in general, is more expensive.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to eat junk food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just
According to the first hit on Google, I basically googled the percentage of vegans worldwide. However, only 2.7% identified as vegans. The transition from vegetarians to vegans has been so profound last year, 2019, as declared by The Economist. So that's obviously, and it looks like an extract, but I asked world population, so I'm assuming it at least gave me the right statistic for the entire planet.
Yeah.
2.7.
Yeah, there's.
This is how many vegans are in the world right now. 2020 update. Give me a second.
Yeah, well, you're.
But anyone else having a thought whilst I look this up?
Yeah, well, while you're looking that up, I also want to remind people that humans are omnivores. We are able to eat and get nutrients from meat as well as vegetables. I mean, you can choose one or the other. It's not. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but neither am I a nutritionist, so grain of salt. But yeah, eating meat, it's fine for us. It's the food chain.
Yes.
I mean,
Honestly,
and at least so far, I have not noticed, and I really hope somebody doesn't come in and prove to me otherwise, that the vegan teacher is not forcing animals to be vegan, as far as I know.
I hope not.
So
apparently she is. She has forced Bella, her dog, to be vegan.
Oh, motherfucking piece of.
What a fucking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, you cannot force a dog or a cat to be vegan. In fact, I don't know about dogs. Okay, dogs can eat some veggies, but cats cannot digest vegetable matter. So, yeah, if you care about... I mean, yeah. I mean, if you care about animals, don't fucking make your pet vegan. I mean, and if you just can't handle it, then you shouldn't have a pet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I found it.
Animal abuse.
Yep.
Yeah. Number of vegans in the world 2020, based on the above figures, adjusted with the speed of growth and other comparative statistics, the approximate number of vegans in the world is less than 1% of the world population, based on the most recent United Nations estimates the world population in 2020 of 7.8 billion. Accordingly, as of September 2020, the total number of vegans in the world is approximately 78 million. And most of them, according to skimming through this article, are Hindus living in India.
Huh.
I will link you the article because just skimming through it looks like it's got some interesting statistics in it. So yeah,
but just it's at the end of the day, when it comes, it's just like with most things. If you want to be vegan. That's fine. Whatever. If it's good for you, it's good for you. If you need, I mean, whatever. I mean, Mel, she herself is mostly vegan and seems to do okay for her. Granted, hers is also more medically necessary.
Yeah.
Because like some meats she'll eat and she'll be like, yeah, you're not going to see me for a week because I'm going to be in the bathroom. Also, the bathroom's not going to be available for a week. So that sort of thing. I'm very much glossing over the issues, and understandably, and
because I'm chowing into my chicken and beans at the moment, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, but it's just but that's the way she's living life, and that's perfectly fine, perfectly valid. Likewise, I like my meat, I like my animal products, and it's okay. I mean, hell, I had some cheese sandwiches before starting recording. Cheese from an animal.
Yeah.
Now, one can make an argument that the animals that we raise for our food can be treated better just throughout their life.
Yeah.
You can make that argument, sure. But
we did touch on that. It was like, yeah, we recognize, although we don't fully comprehend it because we haven't done our own research, we recognize that there are problems with big meat, with big dairy, that there are issues in these areas, but we're not the ones who know how to fix them. And yelling at someone, you've consumed death, isn't helping your argument. And also, fun fact that I did mention on the thing. Now, I don't know if the vegan teacher went vegetarian before she went fully vegan, but given the fact she's in her 50s, she has in her lifetime, because she's only been vegan, 3-4 years?
Mm-hmm.
So in her lifetime, she has still eaten more meat than I have.
Yeah.
Dang.
That is true. Just
like I said, I don't know if she had a vegetarian phase before going full vegan. That might adjust the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, just I mean, why do we have people like that going into things like this? I mean, and it's not even just veganism; it's all sorts of things. It's usually people who go into some of these, like, religion's another one that I've noticed over the years, where you get people go in and like, our way is the right way, and if you believe this way, blah 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 blah, and it's like, no, fuck off. You believe that way, that's fine, whatever. We might poke fun at you a little bit here and there, but at the end of the day, you're still fucking valid. We don't give a shit as long as you ain't trying to hurt people. And that's the key term to a lot of it. As long as you're not trying to hurt people. Although if we want to be like really, really pedantic and smart-assed about it, human beings are technically animals too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
And without tools, we are not Apex either.
Yeah. So, the only reason we are at the top of the food chain is because we know how to do shit with our hands. Yeah. Although some other animals can get there, here and there.
Yeah.
But we're better at it.
Birds can make really complicated structures using their mouths.
Yeah?
Dang, yeah. And also, octopi are smart motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. They're scary smart.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, while we may be better at most things in terms of survival and building shit, other animals are not to be discounted either. But at the end of the day, we can also still eat them.
Yeah.
So.
And they eat each other.
Yeah. Like lions will eat hyenas or whatever. I don't know if that's what they actually hunt, but we'll run with it.
Well.
But whatever. It's the way nature is. Is it scary? Is it like horrible? Would it be out of place in a horror movie? It would not be out of place in a horror movie because nature is scary, motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I remember a time when I was my first year of driving trucks, all the way back in 2011. We were stopped at this truck stop. There was this Walmart like across the field or whatever. I was like, all right, I need to go pick up a thing. So I went to go pick up a thing, and as I'm crossing the field, I see this brightly colored noodle just in my path. And so, and I see it slithering away from me. Thankfully, it's slithering away from me.
Danger noodle.
Yeah. So, thankfully, I sidestepped, walked over, and I made very damn sure I didn't step on it on my way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I should also note that I'm ophidiophobic. And for those who don't know what that means, I'm afraid of snakes.
Is it specifically snakes or other reptiles as well? I wasn't sure.
Specifically snakes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've run into other little lizards, but they're like, you know, just walk and run around outside or whatever. But they don't, you know, they don't bother me, I don't bother them. And I know technically snakes are the same way. You don't bother them, they don't bother you, but I just, it's called an irrational fear for a reason, folks.
Yeah.
Oh! Not disputing, just learning.
Yeah. And I do not have the big ass balls that Bill Engvall has in getting over that fear either. Because I know for years he was ophidiophobic. Like in the last several 4 or 5 years or whatever, he's like, you know what, I want to get over this. And so he did. And I'm like, Bill, you have bigger balls than I do, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but oh yeah, so a lot of people, you know, you've heard people talk about cancel culture and things like that. There, when not necessarily just cancel culture, it's just people actually
Consequences, bitches.
Yeah, basically, it's what it is. And we all have heard that Joss Whedon is pretty much an asshole. You know, an asshole that has had his head so far up his ass. While he's put together really great things over the years, and nobody's denying that, the fact that he is an asshole is still there. Both can be true at once. But yeah, somebody else has come out and says, yeah, back when he was directing Buffy and shit, he was doing some really abusive power shit. And I am summarizing a lot, but it's just, god damn, what the fuck? Him? I think Stanley Kubrick also was a lot of an asshole, despite the films that he put out.
Yeah.
It's just, god damn.
I think the further back you go, the less surprising that is. I know it's not right.
Yeah.
But it does seem that, you know, oh, well, that was just the way it was back then. Like, hopefully the further forward you get, the less and less it happens.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be going.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, and that's another one of those things. It's like, yeah, it's the way it might have been, but that doesn't mean it was right. And I think we're all going to be on that one.
Yeah. It's more a case of I'm less surprised. Like I had heard about Joss Whedon being a dick before. I hadn't really heard about Stanley Kubrick being a dick before, but I'm not surprised by Stanley Kubrick. If that makes sense. Yeah.
And I think who was it that actually directed Carrie back in the 70s?
I'm not sure.
But I seem to remember that.
Huh? Sorry?
I'll look that up for you.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, that director for the 70s Carrie, I seem to remember hearing a story where it's like, I think it was like they were all at the I want to say they were all at the gym or whatever. And the teacher was giving just this verbal berating to all the other girls because of how they were treating Carrie. And the girl who was playing Sue was having horrible stuff whispered into her ear off screen, just to get her reactions out of it.
Oh God.
And it's like, oh no. Carrie Yourself, great movie, but jeebus.
Brian De Palma was his name.
Brian De Palma, thank you. Okay.
Of course.
It's like, I know it's based on Stephen King, but I forgot the director for a moment there. Okay. But yeah. That's how it was at the time. Well, how it was at the time was wrong. I mean, hey, there was a time where you just, enslaved black people, and that's still wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
would that be an appeal to antiquity or appeal to tradition by saying that?
I think so. Sounds about right. But also speaking of other people that have been just horrible people, Gina Carano. She's a recent one. For those who don't know, she plays God damn it, I had the name up here. But she was in The Mandalorian.
Cara Dune.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, and it comes out that Gina Carano is she's a bit of a transphobe.
Yeah, I'd heard about that. I was like,
Yeah, I'm looking at the Fire Gina Carano tag on Twitter now. I
know there was a whole case thing, but has it been proven? Because last I checked it was mostly hearsay.
Well, let's. There's a couple of tweets that I can see that have some receipts. First one is transphobia, open support of sedition and insurrection, COVID denial, and unabashed anti-Semitism. Wow, that's
fucker.
That's just a whole bunch of shit there. Which, by the way, as we're recording this, the impeachment trial for Donald Trump is going on, and people are saying, "Oh, he's being impeached again." It's like he was already impeached. This is just the trial portion. You guys don't know how that works.
If I understand it correctly, the impeachment's the impeachment, the trial's the consequences or potential consequences.
Something like that. I think the easiest way to explain it is impeachment is an indictment of a sitting official, in this case, the president. Because for whatever he was the president when he was indicted. So
yeah, fair enough.
So that's how it's basically just it's more dressed up an official way of going to a person and serving them papers. Hey, we're placing you on trial for this thing. You are charged with this. So it's basically just the presidential equivalent of one of us being hauled in, without the actual hauling in. But and then you have the trial, which the Senate sets the rules for, which I believe they did the day before, either the day before or a couple of days before we recorded this episode.
Yeah,
and so they're going through all of that, and if they convict, then well, we can't remove him from office because he's already been removed. Thank you, American voting public, and thank you, Georgia.
Thank you.
But we can keep him from having that sort of power again. And legally, to where he couldn't even be eligible to be voted upon. So, and then that's what needs to happen. So yeah.
Excuse me.
And let's see. Anyways, to get back to Gina Carano for a moment here. Transphobic, anti-mask, alt-right who parrots QAnon conspiracies. Oh boy. Doesn't believe in systemic racism and now shares anti-Semitic images. And there are a few images from her Instagram stories. Including one picture, meanwhile, in California. And it's a picture of this dude wearing, like, all of the masks all over his head. Like, that's a silly-looking image, but a bit overboard.
Yeah.
And a couple of liked tweets of hers from the Bradford File. I always wanted to read Bradford Life, but no, it's Bradford File.
Yeah.
You are more likely to be assaulted for being a Trump supporter than your race in America today. Bullshit. Just no. I mean, I live in an area with a lot of Trump supporters. Nobody's getting their ass kicked for being a Trump supporter around here.
Nope.
Granted, nobody's... By the same token, nobody around here is getting their ass kicked for being a Biden supporter either. So, if somebody's getting their ass kicked, it's because somebody tipped somebody's cow somewhere. In addition to, the systemic racism we still need to get out of here. But cow tipping. That's the major thing. And this guy also said, America does not have a systemic racism problem. America has a violent leftist extremism problem. Really? Really? You saw that shit happen on January 6th. That is not a leftist extreme problem, sir. That is a right-wing extreme problem. Not just right-wing
He probably
extreme.
still thinks it's Antifa.
It's not even Antifa. It is clearly and obviously Trump and his cult.
I know that.
Yeah.
This guy probably still thinks it's Antifa.
Right. And that's and people like him is who I'm addressing that to. But just, oh my fucking God, what the fuck, y'all? And one of the worst ones is it's a this one is from her Instagram stories, and it's a black and white picture of looks like people getting attacked in the streets back in like old-timey Germany. Gee, I wonder where this is gonna go. And the caption reads, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Sad emoji. And a quote here, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them for simply being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Let me tell you something, okay? Because being Jewish is not a political ideology. It is an ethnic and religious one. Because I know there's like, there's some cross between there. And let me tell you this, okay? Nobody is rounding up anybody for being a Trump supporter or being a Republican. Literally nobody is doing that. Now, certain Republicans wanted to round up people who support Joe Biden or the Democrats or anybody that is not Trump. That's what they've wanted to do. They didn't, but they've wanted to. They have expressed this viewpoint. So, but nobody here, as far as I am aware, the whole political views and Jews being rounded up by the Nazis, there's really no comparison. Because you can change your political views. People in America have done that through time immemorial. Some of them even forced them into doing it throughout our history. Yeah, it does happen, but it's not happening right now. Or at least not in the circles that I run. Nobody is going up and putting a gun in Ben Shapiro's face, which in itself is also problematic because he's Jewish, and saying, "Hey, you need to believe in Joe Biden right now." Nobody's doing that. No, because, well, for one, he ain't worth it. And number two, that would just be wrong. So, nobody's doing that. Likewise, nobody is coming up to my door putting a gun in my face saying, hey, you better vote for Trump or I'll put you in the grave. Nobody's doing that. Nobody really is doing that. They're not doing anything like that. Anywhere close.
Because even just sort of bring it back to that vegan teacher, yes, she is very in your face saying you have to be vegan, if not you are immoral and you are wrong and you are consuming death. However, you still have to click to watch and choose to watch that video.
Yeah.
So even then, even though in her video, in her forum, she's in your face, you still have that moment of choosing whether or not you want to be in her face, if you want to be that face she's in.
Yeah. And it comes to another bit of a catch-22 when it comes to the internet, because we can avoid and ignore most things. We see something we don't like, we can block it for the most part. And but on the other hand, if it's shit like this, if it's this anti-Semitic, transphobic bullshit that literally does hurt people, then you can't really ignore it, because there are other people who won't ignore it and will take it to heart.
Yeah.
So just telling people, oh, just do that. Well, I mean, you can, but it also puts you in a point where, they could have carte blanche and nobody will sit there and, nobody will be there to refute whatever points they're making. And it's something I've learned, and something I'm trying to make sure I tailor my own talking points and arguments to, is like we'll take Gina Carano for example, because she's right here. If I were to go and have a talk with her or some kind of debate with her, or even just rant at her for a little bit, the people who need this to hear the message, yes. Well, would I hope that she would come around and become a better person? Yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's not just for her. It's for the people listening. Because there are plenty of people who will listen to somebody refuting these points and pointing out the logical arguments, the emotional arguments, and tearing these arguments apart. And the people who would need to hear it the most are the viewers.
Mm.
So, and that's someplace that I try to work on to get to as well. So, like, if I'm saying something that the rest of us here are like, oh, well, no fucking shit, then, yeah, we may get that. But there may be somebody listening who may not have gotten it. I've called it idiot proofing in the past, but that's a bit of that name's a bit off nowadays.
Yeah.
So, it's basically preach to the audience. They are who we need. They are the ones who need to hear it the most.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to go ahead and take our break, and we got actually a new promo. Our editor on Random Taz finally finished up the promo for the show, and we're going to play it here along with everything else. But I mean, and I'll play it this once on the Patreon version as well, so the patrons can hear it and all that. But after this one, it'll be the regular patrons don't have any commercials. So, but yeah, so we're gonna have all that, and we'll be back. So stick around. Howdy, everybody, and welcome to this little segment of the show I've got set out for myself. I really should give it a proper name, but oh well, we'll worry about that some other time. Yeah. Not really much to report here in terms of just this segment that I really want to talk about that we haven't really brought up during the show this week, because I think we cover just about everything, and it's one of those, I'm feeling like this is becoming more and more of just a freeballing type show, as opposed to things with like, okay, we have like 3 news articles or what have you, and I mean, while we still have them, it's a lot more laid back, and I kind of like it a little bit, I guess, because there's not so much pressure to be like, okay, I need to find 5 stories or what have you. It's just, if we find something, we do. If we don't, we don't, because there are plenty of things to talk about out there in the ether. Because, I mean, hey, during this whole episode, the Trump impeachment trial is going on, and yeah, this is like this, and then there's like sometime I bring it up in the second half too, so it gets brought up like 3 separate times now in this episode. But we're definitely not we're not thirsty for topics, at least. And sometimes social media is really good at just finding different things, like, oh hey, we have this here and that there. Okay, cool and beans. Yeah, that's a phrase. But yeah. But yeah, I wanted to just ramble on about that for a little bit. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Again, patrons, thank you for being patrons. It really does mean a lot to me, regardless of how much you can do or how much you can't do. It really does mean a lot. Because there are times where I sink like really deep into despair over what I do, and sometimes it's good to have a reminder that, hey, somebody believes in you enough to at least to listen to your show for over a decade. Holy shit, that still kind of amazes me. Holy crap. Wow. I'm just honestly flabbergasted. That people have been listening that long. Because I always feel like that my audience changes over the years. While there is some audience change, yes, but it's amazing and wonderful to know that you have a set core base of fans and audience members, and it's yeah. But yeah, to all of you, to everybody who's listening, whether you can support me on Patreon or not, thank you. And enjoy the rest of the show. Take care. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point, I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX.
And now, an important message from Tyler Green, Kitty Quinn, and Randy Martin.
Are you tired of asking yourself if that obscure show or movie you watched once was a fever dream?
Is it still in your brain to this day as a 3 a.m. channel-changing hallucination? Well, join us as we yank that said memory out of your subconscious while we do a deep dive on it on Channel KRT.
Channel KRT is a new bi-weekly podcast where we look at the best and worst of obscure media. We'll be covering such topics as
The Puzzle Place,
Clown TV,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show,
Reanimated,
The Weird Al Show,
We Sing,
and more. Join us every other week over at Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be heard. Channel KRT, cut to static.
Hey y'all, wanna watch some anime? I haven't seen this one.
Oh, good idea. I've been meaning to watch this one.
Hey, can we watch this one? I was distracted.
Ignoring how easily Gomer is distracted by booty, how about this one?
Alright. How about this? Let's just pick one and watch one episode a week. We can even talk about it on a podcast. It's random, it's anime. What should we call it?
Randome. Check out Randome. Recorded every week at twitchtv.com/Rosenthorn. And available. Oh, good lord.
This is all staying in.
We are back from our break, and yeah, that was some stuff that happened.
Yeah, sure was.
Yeah, and hopefully my little segment this week is not going to be similar to the one from last week.
Good.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, if you just skip through everything and just get to the second half, or even if this is your first episode, I made a little thing last week where I note that some of the things that we as humans can relate to the most are sometimes some of the most disgusting. Like you talk, why are farts things like why are farts funny? Because we all do it, and we're all immature. So
basically.
Yeah. And certain things are obviously more relatable to certain sections of the population. Like I'm never gonna experience a period firsthand, but there are people who have all the equipment for it. They can probably relate on that level. Like, oh man, this thing happened. I'm like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, and just it's a lot of relatability, but it's a lot of gross relatability too. So I think that's just it's one of the fun things about life. It's we can relate to a lot of shit about each other, no pun intended, but ew. But yeah, so Scully, you found a news story.
Yeah.
That happened.
It's pretty funny. I thought, okay, funny thing is, I thought it was in my neck of the woods, but I misread the city name. It's off by one letter. It's Louisville, North Carolina, not Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. Alright, well, Louisville firefighters sent to put out restaurant fire. Turns out the staff was actually making about 10,000 wings ahead of Super Bowl.
Damn! I just have to wonder, who called the fire department on them?
I mean, I see pictures. I could see why they think there was a fire, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Firefighters with the Louisville Fire Department are used to putting out restaurant fires, but they aren't used to showing up to a restaurant after getting a call about a fire, realizing that there is no fire, and the staff is just making around 10,000 wings for the Super Bowl. That's exactly what happened on Saturday when firefighters showed up at Ronnie's Pizza, according to an LFD statement. Okay, then there's a tweet from the Louisville Fire Department. Earlier this evening, we were dispatched to Ronnie's Pizza for a commercial building fire. While it looked bad when we got there, it turns out the hardworking staff were just preparing roughly 10,000 chicken wings for Super Bowl Sunday. We are very fortunate that this was the outcome. Everyone be safe and enjoy the big game.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now the article's just quoting the tweet. Okay. Firefighters encouraged everyone to stay safe and enjoy the big game. Yeah. Okay. Workers with Ronnie's Pizza told Fox someone drove by, saw the unusually large amount of smoke coming from the restaurant, and called the fire department. And there's some pictures of the place. Yeah. I can see why someone would think there's a damn fire.
Yeah. Definitely understandable.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Their heart was in the right place.
Yeah, you can't really fault them for it. It could be like, oh, you idiots. No.
Yeah. I mean, better for them to think, better than, the alternative happening. Like, oh, there is a fire, and someone thinks, oh, they're just cooking wings.
Yeah. So, that's to err on the side of caution in that case.
Yeah.
I mean,
10,000 chicken wings, though.
Jeez, that's a lot of chicken.
Uh-huh.
And somewhere the vegan teacher is like, no! So, as is obvious, I live out in the country. And well, I say the country, but it's a rural city with a lot of countryside. But anyway, so I will sometimes drive down, and of course there's farms between here and every other major city around here. So I would sometimes, and I don't do it as often, but every now and then I'd drive by and I would like look at a cow just grazing on the side of the road and be like, hey, you're gonna be on my plate in a week. Yeah. Things like that. And I would do it publicly on like things like LiveJournal. That's how long ago I would do it when I would do this. But then I do have some vegan friends who are like, yeah, dude, you're being an ass for no reason. And yeah, that is a little bit true. So I save being an ass like that for people like the vegan teacher, who is in turn an ass. Because the vegan friends that I have, they're like, okay, you eat meat. I think you're weird, but all right. You do you, dude. And it's
every comment section that I've seen that's talking about her has vegans in it going, oh my god, she's so embarrassing. Oh my god, she's completely ruining the cause. She's so bad for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like hashtag not all vegans, but hashtag this asshole right here. Oh, just wow.
I told my partner about it this morning, and he googled that. The first video he found was this guy responding to Gordon Ramsay responding to the vegan teacher. And basically Gordon Ramsay's response was eating a burger whilst she was singing to him. That's the other really cringe thing. Everyone's her student. Like, as far as I know, she was actually a teacher. I believe she's retired. I may be wrong on that.
I think you're right.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're not. We're not your students. Nobody's your student unless they're in your class, signed up. And I don't know what age range she was, what grade she was doing, whatever. But unless they are in your class, in front of you, in loco parentis, or I guess, is it still loco parentis if so adult learners?
Not sure. But point is, nobody wants to be your damn student, lady.
And I hope she's retired, because if she's not, those kids. Oh, those poor kids.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. God damn. Oh, and it reminds me of oh god, I don't even remember how many years ago it was that Maddox did like a whole thing on like vegans or whatever, in his usual style, you know. And I think one of the graphics he put up was like, for every burger you won't eat, I'll eat 3 or something like that. And it was like a burger made of like these exotic animals, of course, because you know he's deliberately being an asshole about it, but
yeah.
But it's aimed at people who are also deliberate assholes, so you know.
Yeah.
They did that plot line in Friends when because Phoebe's always been vegetarian because she's the hippie one, and like she was pregnant and then she started craving meat, so to offset her meat eating, Joey stopped eating meat for a little while. But that was just cute.
Yeah,
that was just like kind of a sweet thing they did, and it wasn't even mocking. You know, it was just like, all right, you want to eat meat? And for Joey, that was a huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's supportive. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, have the balance or whatever. That's what you want to do. But nobody asked Joey to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's
it wasn't
like...
forced to do it. And at no point did Phoebe ever be like, I don't. You know, she had the Thanksgiving dinners with them. She shared meals with them. She didn't preach at them.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And you know, to bring it back to Mel, who herself is, you know, mostly vegan. You know, there are some meats she can eat, like fish or some chicken or what have you. But for generalization's sake, vegan. You know, if I were to have her over for like any kind of big meal or what have you, you know, I wouldn't be like, yeah, all we have are burgers here. You're going to eat a burger, you know, and it's beef, even though beef is bad for you, like legit bad for her. You know, we're not going to do that. You know, we will make the effort, and I would like to think that, or you know what, she didn't even have to on the other end, because like if I went to her place and all she had was the vegan stuff or what have you, I would at least try it. Even though, like, in college, I tried, like, one of those veggie burgers, and I was like, okay, it looks like it might be okay, I'll give it a shot. And I took a few bites, and I was like, I can't. It just does not taste well to me. I mean...
It depends how it's done. I think the veggie burgers, they've got them nice. It depends if it's like a proto-veg or bean burger or whatever. So again, that's not a catch-all term.
Yeah. I mean, and bear in mind, this was also back in 2002. I don't know how much better the veggie burger technology has gotten since then.
Should have gotten better, yeah.
Yeah. And there I go, putting another food to a technology, because before it was mashed potato technology. Now we have veggie burger technology. So I've got this that's been going around. We mentioned earlier that the impeachment trial is going on, and I came upon this thread from Greg Sargent, who's quote tweeting his own thread from earlier in the day, and he, in short, they pre-planned the January 6th effort to overthrow the election because Trump told them to. He pre-planned it with them. And the thread he's quote tweeting has all the receipts. And it's basically what we're already figuring is that Trump is like, yeah, we're gonna do this. You're gonna keep me in power because I want the power, because that's the only way I can get hard at night.
Well, that and having phone sex with Daddy Putin.
Yeah, because that's all starting to come out too, isn't it? Because now Biden has access and can probably declassify those if he isn't already doing so, saying, here, this is what my predecessor was doing, y'all. He was doing all of this with Putin.
Yeah.
and while I would not mind, and when it comes to like Russia and like currently adversarial nations, it's one of those things where it's like, would I like it that all of our nations got along? Yes, I would, but not while one nation is killing political rivals and another one is doing a genocide. I see you, China. We know about that, and we are not going to shut up about that. Generalized, because we cover plenty of topics. Yeah. So I would like for everybody to get along, but again, you got genocides and political assassinations. You gotta fix that shit. We got shit to fix here too, by the way, because we've been trying for our own genocide for years, but
we ain't perfect either. But
yeah,
ours is more of a slow death that we inflicted on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we all got shit to do, and we can all pull together and make ourselves better.
I found a story. I was just scrolling Google and I found a story.
Okay.
Okay, so it's BBC News, dated 9th of February 2021. Would-be thief attempts to steal woman's guide dog.
What the fuck?
Asshole. Fucking asshole, don't do that shit.
A woman has spoken of the frightening and traumatic moment a man tried to steal her guide dog whilst it was exercising off lead. Maisie McAdams and 6-year-old Willow were in a secluded spot near Basingstoke on Wednesday when a man approached and asked to stroke her dog. Ms. McAdams, who is partially sighted, said while the man was stroking Willow, he pulled a lead from his pocket. She said she heard the click. She said she heard the click, but was able to grab the dog's collar in time.
Oh, damn.
University student Ms. McAdams, 23, has relied on Willow, a Labrador Golden Retriever cross, since 2016. She said she had a weird feeling about the man who approached her in a secluded spot. The man was crouching next to Willow when I heard a click, she said. He had pulled a lead, which I think he guessed I couldn't see as I was carrying along my cane. I asked him what he was doing, and he seemed startled and jumped up and didn't say anything. I don't have any peripheral vision, so I couldn't tell where he was or if he was near me. She said she was now nervous of going out alone and would in future walk with her partner. Dog thieves have been on the rise since the start of the pandemic as demand for pets has soared, but charity Guide Dogs UK said it has never heard of anyone trying to steal a guide dog from its owner. Tim Stafford, the charity director of Canine Affairs, said, "Our guide dog owners are volunteers who look after our puppies regularly, practice recall training so the dogs can have fun, free time off the lead safely." In this case, Willow was right by Maisie's side, allowing her to understand what was happening and intervene.
Yeah.
So he didn't get away with it, but fuck him.
Actually. Yeah. I'm just imagining somebody who is not totally blind, but blind enough to need a stick and the dog, but can still kind of see a little bit, and they see that and be like, "I thought you were blind." "I'm only mostly blind, bitch. Get away from my dog." Or we're gonna find out how good my aim is with this stick and your balls. Just don't go around stealing pets.
Yeah,
especially not a guide dog. Oh my god.
Yeah, just no. I know the doggo is probably a good boy or girl. I don't know the gender of the dog.
Willow. I know, it said Willow, so yeah.
I love that name.
It could be either.
Yeah.
But Willow is a very good dog, and I know you want to have a very good dog. There are shelters. You can go. You can adopt a very good dog or a very good cat.
Yeah.
I would prefer. I would like to adopt a cat, but I know I cannot handle taking care of one right now, so I do not. But I look at all of the kitty pictures, and I certainly do not go and steal one.
No. I say hello to all the dogs I meet and the cats if they're around, although at the moment they haven't been too bad. I say hello to the squirrels when I go past them.
Yeah.
I mean, they are cute.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the conspiracy board that Zen's put up in her server. It's very funny. I'm not sure if it's available publicly, so I'm not going to share it. But
Right.
I think you're in there, aren't you, Gomer?
In which one?
Zenith's forum. Zenith's.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the general.
All right. I might have a look at that. But yeah, I am a part of a lot of Discord servers.
I got a few.
Yeah. There's like my main 3, which includes the Thespian Talk server. There's Rosen's, where most people, congregate in our circles.
Yeah.
There's even one for Blaster Master speedrunning, which it's cool. You can learn some new tricks in there if you just sit around. It's kind of dead at the moment though, because nobody's talking. But that's okay. But yeah, there's a lot. There are a lot. Oof. I've actually honestly thought about maybe parsing some of them down. It's like, am I really in here? No. I mean, there's some that I'm not going to because, like I'm in Mars Girls Discord server, and I'm not gonna do away with that because I'm actually a mod in there.
Yeah.
Oh God, why, Kaylin? Why? But it's pretty low key in there.
Yeah,
a lot of them are, and that's kind of a good thing because I think Markiplier has one, and I was in there for a hot minute, but it was like, yeah, no, there's way too much going on right now. Just, no.
Yeah.
Busy forums scare me. I'm actually in traditional animation, which is the one that crap. American Tail.
Fievel.
Anastasia.
Nice.
No, the director, the creator.
Don Bluth.
Don Bluth, yeah, it's the one he created.
Mm-hmm.
He sent out an invitation for it on his thing. I was like, all right, I'll click on that. But it's such a busy server, and I'm not actually an animator, so I feel like weird. Like I could probably ghost a few forums and actually give encouraging words and stuff, but there's so much going on all the time. It's like I'd be there all day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things about, just forums in general, not just Discord is just the latest iteration of all of these.
Yeah.
It's like I remember back in the day, back in the long ago of the early 2000s. Wow. I'd be a part of one, maybe 2 message boards, and now there's like 20 Discord servers, and there's a lot of in between. There's a lot of crossover. That's the word I'm looking for between them. Like some of the people that are in the Thespian Talk server are also in my personal server, or also in Rosen's server, or also in our friend Astra's server too. So it's just wow. And then there's like one server that there's no crossover because it's a special Discord server for the podcast Lady to Lady, meant for patrons.
Awesome.
So but then there's one for Channel KRT, which if you guys aren't listening to that one, you really should. But yeah, this has been another one of those episodes where it's just kind of we've gone into freeballing mode.
I was actually going to ask if Ricky doesn't mind answering. Since you've been listening to the show forever, what do you think of all the cast changes and everything that's happened over the years?
It's kept the show interesting. And it's brought in some different viewpoints as well, which is always good.
Yeah.
So, different voices on the same topic, you usually get a different flavour for it, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I have found a story if you want a bit of a lighter, funny note to end on.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is from the Metro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Dated 8th of February of this year. A man has been given a $200 fine after he was found naked in his Mazda in a closed car park on what he said was an essential trip to buy some wet wipes.
Talking.
Wait.
Excuse me.
Wait. So, okay, he needed to go get wet wipes.
Yes.
So he got in his car, stark-ass naked, and went to go do this.
Yes, apparently. The unnamed man appeared flustered when he was questioned by police in Derbyshire who were patrolling yesterday after local rangers alerted them to littering and other, quote, soiled items in the area.
Oh, no.
He's in Derby. He's definitely dogging.
Yeah. Police said on Facebook, on pulling up next to the car, officers were startled to discover the lone male in a complete state of au natural. Naturally, officers challenged the nude male, asking him why he was in the closed car park. The man claimed he had stumbled across the car park by accident after taking several wrong turns, having just made a specific journey to a local shop to purchase a packet of wet wipes.
Oh, dear.
God.
However, the male was unable to provide a reasonable excuse for why he was stark naked in the car park during the height of a national lockdown.
Yeah, just like
after finding him, they sent him on his way and told him to put some clothes on.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. In my head, he was completely naked the entire scenario, which means he went into the shop whilst naked, but still wore a mask, so nobody said anything.
My.
I mean, at least he was wearing at least in that scenario, he would be wearing a mask, at least.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you got your debate and tackle all hanging out, but you're not spreading the COVID with that, at least.
Mavis, have you seen what's come down aisle 3?
And also in that weather.
Oh, God.
Just,
God, yeah.
Dude. The bait and tackle ain't gonna be hanging very far down, buddy. Because it's gonna be like, no. It is cold. No.
I also love this little blurb right at the end. Somebody was padding the word count.
Yeah.
The same police team also revealed that they had found a couple who met up for a, quote, peck in a Peugeot in a car park at a closed beauty spot. A man had made a 100-mile round trip from Lancashire to pick up his girlfriend and took her up the A51 to Southern Harold Reserve near Melbourne in Derbyshire to share a kiss that ended up costing them both £200.
Wow. Catholic Church, eat your heart out. Wow. I mean, it's just and that's one of those things about the whole pandemic. It's like, yeah, we are humans. We are social creatures, and touch starvation is a thing that happens.
Yes.
I mean, hell, even I have went and met up with a friend of mine, and when we've done, we do the whole physical thing even, but we also take the time to say, okay, we're doing this, we're taking all of our precautions. Like whenever I go out, I make sure I wear a mask, I stay away from people as much as I can. She barely goes anywhere, so, but when she does, I think she masks up, or at the very least does, we make sure each other is safe. So whenever we decide, hey, we want to meet up, then we could do so safely, and we make sure, we don't. And even when we do, it's between her place, my place, and the car. So it's very little interaction with anybody else. So the point is, it can be done safely. I wouldn't do it all the time under pandemic circumstances, but it is possible. And if you don't think, and if you don't think it's safe, don't do it. So yeah. But on that note, I think we will go ahead and get on out of here for this week, because that was a good story to end on, though.
You're welcome.
Oh,
awesome.
Yes. So yeah, Ricky, thanks for not only being a patron but also coming on the show. It's been really good to have you, even though I think I tend to talk over everybody, and I apologize for that. But,
that's all right. It's been fun.
Oh, all right.
It's been nice. It's been nice not being the only Brit.
So Ricky, you mentioned you do some writing stuff and all of that. Is there any place where we can find you, that we can look at that, or anything you want to plug or what have you?
I have a fanfiction.net account. I will find that for you, Gomer, and put it in the Discord.
Awesome.
I mainly do fan fiction based on the old TV show Nightmare, if anybody remembers that.
Oh, awesome!
Oh.
Hello, fellow watcher of Illusion, I see.
Oh.
Nasty. How? Okay, I'm curious now because how you fanfic that?
I was involved for a while in a amateur drama group that did audio dramas based on the Nightmare thing using the characters.
Oh.
So
yeah.
I just basically spun it off with that, doing my own take on it.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Or
a show.
as my character in that, the Goblin Master Skalker, used to say, "Lovely."
Awesome. So that will be in the doobly-doo. Are you on social media or anything, or?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. So Michelle, where can we find you if we wanted to find you on the internet?
You can find me via my link tree, linktr.ee/Phoenix11, PHEONIX11, and also separate from me, a polite reminder for if you have any editing needs, Daniel Mills, Intercidian, is offering his services as of right now. I think his book is still open, and the link for that should still be downstairs as well.
Yeah, should still be there. I'll make sure I keep it there if it is there. But
Cool.
I don't think I've changed it at this point. Scully, where can we find you if we wanted to find you?
I've got a link tree. It's linktr.ee/Scolipendra.
Sweet.
Yay.
And as for me, you can find me through my stuff is all through my link tree, linktr.ee/Gomer21XX. That's my Twitter. That's the Facebook page. That's the Instagram, where I post mostly shiny hunting stuff, and I gotta actually post an update soon because I completed a couple of lines in Pokemon Sword. So I gotta get those updated, and whoever decided some of these shiny palettes need to be slapped because they look too similar to the regular ones. I'm looking at whoever decided the ones for Shedinja. But at least I don't have to worry about trying to encounter it in the wild, but like, oh, is that shiny? Is that shiny? Ching! Oh, that's shiny. Thank you, Masuda method. But yeah, so all of that, and of course, there's also the Patreon. If you want to help out the show or what have you, every little bit does help. And if you give enough, you get perks like being able to hop on here an episode, like Ricky has done this time. And for those who are patrons, I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It does mean a lot. And again, if you want to go to that specifically and you don't want to dig through the link tree, patreon.com/Gomer21XX. And yeah, so that's about it. Ricky, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being a patron.
You're welcome, Gomer.
And thank you all for listening, and we will catch you next time. So until then, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, with Michelle, Scolipendra, and Ricky. Signing off.
Bye.
I